picks and predictions for UFC Fight Night 101. Back at the Apex. Unfortunate circumstances. But first fight of the year. I'm pretty excited to have the UFC back. Man, I'm rusty. Yeah, decent card. Actually, main event isn't the most exciting, but the rest of the card is actually pretty good. I think this is a big sleeper card. I think it's gonna deliver probably a lot of good, fun fights on this one. A lot of fights I'm looking forward to. So let's get started with the first fight of the night. I don't know why this is the first one, but Nuruyo Aliyev versus Joe Selecki. Aliyev, one fight in the UFC, he's like fucking 23, 22, which is how old I am, which makes me feel not great about my life. Good grappler. His one fight was against Rafael Alves, and Alves is great. Like, Alves is fucking legit, man. So, that's a great win. I think Alves is definitely better than Joe Selecki. And, you know, he didn't make it look easy per se, but it was a fairly flawless performance. Not the most exciting in the world, but just kind of took him down, held him there, didn't let him get back up. And Alves has great jiu-jitsu, good guillotine, good submissions, and he's strong as shit. And Aliyev, in his young, unmature body, was still able to fucking hold him down. So this guy's got to be pretty fucking strong, especially for his weight. So yeah, Joe Selecki, not a bad grappler. Actually, I think he's kind of underrated. But he's kind of a one-trick pony. Not great on the feet. Lost to Jakar Close in his last fight. Or no, Grant Dawson. Over 3 rounds, he didn't get submitted. Oh yeah, he got slammed by Jakar Close. That was nasty. I got Aliyev in this one. He's got the EV, not the OV, but the EV in the last name. And yeah, I mean, he had a whole camp. Joe Selecki took this shit on super short notice. Who knows, maybe he could find a triangle or an armbar, but Alves had Aliyev in a strong guillotine, and he was able to get out pretty easily, so I'm going Aliyev by decision. Unless Joe gasses out and he gets the TKO. Next up, we got Fatima Klein versus Victoria Dudikova. I'm gonna keep it a book. The names sound familiar, but I kind of forgot who these women are. Klein, in her last fight, fought Judavicius, and Judavicius is fucking good, so didn't get finished. And then my girl, sorry, I'm pulling this shit up. Dudikova lost to Sam Hughes, which is not a good look. So I'm going Fatima Klein by decision. Next up, we got Magomed. Oh my god, I gotta get close to the screen to read this one. Gad C. Yeah. versus Bruno Lopez. Coming through with the easier name to pronounce. This is an interesting one. I want to go Gatzioff. But he's not great. He beat Henson Ribeiro. Was kind of getting cooked, and then just took him down and laid on him, and bro couldn't get up, so he just won this decision. Not the most exciting fight. He didn't look too impressive, but Bruno Lopez got knocked out by Ribeiro, which is not a great look. He's a contender series guy. He fought this like guy who would just throw overhands over and over. Who was like kind of fat. It was a very weird style, and a very slow fight. Like neither of them were very fast, and they're both kind of fat. I think God's has definitely got like the strength and probably the size advantage. Definitely the speed advantage. That's for sure. But Lopez has decent boxing, although it's slow. He's like fairly accurate, and he kind of knows what he's doing. So this is a tough one to pick, but I think I'm gonna go Magomed Gats by using his wrestling and taking down Lopez. We'll say another decision. Next up, we got Emesta Calicatier versus Nicole Calamari. I'm gonna keep it a bug. I guess I'm turning into a casual because I do not know either of these women. But I'm gonna go with calamari. I fucking love calamari, bro. Those little fried calamaris. I used to get that shit as an appetizer at like Applebee's all the time. Oh my god, bro. With the marinara sauce. That shit would hit, bro. So yeah, I'm going with calamari by Flying Armbar. Next up, Preston Parsons versus Jacob Smith. I may have the wrong guy. I was trying to do my research, but it's hard to find replays of Contender Series fights without Fight Pass. But I believe Jacob E. Smith is a strong wrestler. I think I remember his fight. I think he was the guy who hit this wild takedown on his opponent, where he like had him in the guy was like an all fours kind of wrestling position, and Jacoby had the body lock kind of behind him, where you see guys throw like knees to the thigh a lot, but he fucking jumped his hips in the air and thrusted his hips into the dude's knee and like snapped his shit, bro. It was a brutal takedown. Looked nasty. It was kind of fucked up. But yeah, super strong guy, super athletic, great wrestler. I think he could gas out. That's like the only way I see Preston winning, especially because this is on short notice. The guy that Preston Parsons was supposed to fight, Andres Gustafsson. I was excited to see him fight because he had a great fight on the Contender Series where he clinched a lot against the cage, but he actually made it effective, and it was nasty, bro. He was hitting elbows, knees, like he was just mean in the clinch. So, unfortunately, we don't get to see that fight. Parsons, I think, is actually decent. I don't think he's like bottom feeder level, but he did lose to Oban Elliott, and honestly. Trey Ogden, kind of a boring fighter, literally has like made a career off of like he's got smart fight IQ. He knows how to win fights, but he also knows how to make them extremely boring. But he is a good grappler, and again, he's got great fight IQ, but he doesn't do anything like particularly well. Whereas Moises, I mean, kind of the same shit. He's very well rounded, probably better grappler than anything, but I think Moises will have the advantage on the feet for sure. So if he can stuff the takedowns, I see him picking apart Trey Ogden on the feet. But if not, we could be in for a snooze fest. Thiago is getting up there in age. No, he's not. What the fuck? Bro, I thought he was like 37. This dude's been in the UFC since fucking 2018. He's only 29, bro. Or wait. Yeah, 29. That's nuts. I thought he was 37. I thought he was like over the hill. I guess he's been fighting for a while, but I did not realize he was that young. That's kind of nuts. But yeah, I've always liked Thiago. I think he's like right under top 15 level, like top 20, top 25. And yeah, I'm gonna go with him. I honestly think he beats Trey Ogden. Picking him apart on the feet, stuffing the takedowns, maybe going for some himself. He's training at the Fighting Nerds, I think. Used to train at ATTD. So hopefully they're developing his striking pretty good, and he'll come out putting the whoops on Trey Ogden. So I'm gonna go Thiago Moises, round 3, KO. Next up, excuse me, Tulio versus Eor Badaria. Poor Eor, bro. They do him so dirty, man. It's fucked up. Sorry, that was like way too loud. I was trying to do some water sounds. Yeah, your fucking dude. I hated him when he finished Shogun because it was just fucked up. Like, why'd they do Shogun like that? And then they just like fed him killers after killers, bro. Like terrible fights for him. He kept getting finished and just cooked up. Almost finished this dude from the LFA who was on the Contender Series, who was looking pretty good. Adolfo Bellato, yeah. And then he fumbled the finish and got finished himself from gassing out. And then he got fouled like crazy against Cesar Almeida. Just eye poked like 12 fucking times, nutshotted, and the ref didn't do shit. So I feel bad for Eor. I'm gonna be rooting for him, low-key. But Marco Tulio, he's great, honestly. I'm pretty impressed with what I saw from him. He beat that 6'14" guy who beat Alex Pereira, and he was touching him up on the feet, mixing in the grappling. Like, he outstruck the fucking Glory kickboxer, and they didn't give him a contract. He was like a huge underdog, I think. But I remember being very impressed and surprised he didn't get a contract, so I'm happy he's getting the chance now. And yeah, very technical, like, just good all-around fighter, dude. And Eor was a little too wild. So I think Marco's technical ability, he might grapple too, but either way, I think he's beating Eeyore. I definitely think he's a level above. So I'm going Tulio by round 1 KO. Why not? Next up, interesting fight. I did some research for this one. Jose Johnson versus Felipe Boons. Jose Johnson, fucking 6'1" at flyweight, crazy. I'm like 5'10", and I would be considered like a fucking lengthy flyweight, and this guy's 6'1", kind of insane. Felipe Boons, not bad. He fought Joshua Fan, I think on short notice, and he looked decent for the first round. Good takedowns, like great jits, and decent striking. Good Muay Thai, okay hands, kind of lengthy for the division. Although he's he's 5'6". Actually, that makes sense, because Joshua Van's like 5'3". So, but either way, decent striking, great jiu-jitsu. The only thing is he gassed out after like 1.5 rounds. And Jose Johnson, I don't think he's like a top level flyweight, but beat Chad and Elliger in a fairly competitive fight. Uses his range pretty well, but kind of crashes in sometimes. And Elliger was able to take him down a decent amount, and that makes me worried for him. I feel like Boons could definitely find success in the jiu-jitsu department. I think he is going to be the better grappler, but it's just such a tricky test if you're not like a top level flyweight, getting past a guy who's 6'1", throwing fucking front kicks in your gullet. Like, that shit's not fun. So, gonna be a tough test for him. If Boonez gasses out, Johnson definitely has it in the bag, but if he doesn't, I could see him getting the sub. But I'll go Johnson I'll go by decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if Boonez pulls out the submission. On to the main card. Starting off the main card, we got Punali Soriano versus Uros Medic. Soriano is one of those guys that came to the UFC looking like great power, fucking swinging overhands. Bit of a Chad fighting style, fucking Samoan warrior type shit. And then he turned into a wrestler, bro. It's like, what was his name? Fuck. It's gonna kill me. The guy who, fought, Mark DeCasey. The guy who fought, Michael Johnson. He was a great striker. He was looking phenomenal, and then he just turned into a wrestler and became hella boring. Couldn't get a finish, but would just wrestle guys and get the dub. And I fear that's what's happening with Soriano. I don't think he's gonna want anything to do with Uros on the feet. I think he's gonna grapple, try to take him down, because that is, the path for success against a guy like Uros Medic. And I think Uros is going to be a smaller guy. He was a lightweight. He is a lot taller though. But yeah, I think Soriano's just going to dive into the hips, take him down, grind out a boring decision, maybe gas Udos out, because that's what Oralbai did in their fight. Once he started grappling, Uros could not hang with the cardio to fend off that offensive wrestling. So I'm going Soriano by boring wrestling decision. Next up, Christian Rodriguez versus Austin Bashi. I'm excited for this fight. I think this is going to be a banger. Rodriguez got subbed by Julian Erosa his last fight, but I think it's one of those ones where it's like a Michael Johnson kind of fight where Erosa can just submit the best guy ever and then like lose to fucking, I don't know, Chris Barnett if he was a featherweight the next fight. So yeah, I think Christian is good. I think just because he lost to Jesus, bro. Sorry, my brain is like cooked. I did not get enough sleep, bro. I'm fucking I'm hanging on by a thread, bro. Julian Erosa, yeah. Just because he lost to him, I don't think that means he's washed or that takes away from his previous opponents or performances. He fought Isaac Dolgarian, which I think is pretty much the exact same style as Bashi. Maybe a bit less striking, but he was very impressive in that fight. He did get taken down a bit, but he kept getting back up. His wrestling defense looked phenomenal. And I could totally see him doing the same against Bashi. I think this is a tough matchup. They're not, giving him a layup. So shout out to the UFC for making an actual compelling matchup with a young, up-and-coming prospect. Bashi, like I said, great wrestler, super athletic, looked good on the Contender Series, just strong as fuck, bro. But again, Rodriguez, passed that test with Isaac Dolgarian, and I think he'll pass it again. I think Bashi is a bit too young. I don't think he's seen it all, and I think he might gas in the third round. Rodriguez has a great fucking gas tank, good fight IQ. So yeah, I'm going Christian Rodriguez by round 3 TKO, by like reversing a takedown or something and just finishing a gassed Bashi. Next up we got Chris Curtis versus Roman Kopylov. I don't know why this isn't the co-main. A little strange, but I am very hyped for this fight. This is probably the fight I'm most excited for on this card. Both guys, good strikers. Kopylov, grappling isn't the best. Kind of got exposed by Anthony Hernandez, but Hernandez is a pretty phenomenal fighter, to be fair. Kopylov, just beautiful striking, good spinning kicks, good boxing, just good kickboxing in general. I think Curtis could offensively grapple. He's more of a defensive grappler. He likes to defend takedowns and kind of work from there. But I think he's going to shoot in this fight. I don't think he's going to want to stand with Kopylov. I think Kopylov's going to be too fast, and I think he's going to leg kick the fuck out of Chris Curtis, who likes to stand in his kind of boxing stance. I don't know if Kopylov is southpaw or not. If he is, that makes it a little bit less interesting. If he's orthodox, I think he's going to rip that body kick like he did against Josh Fremd and work the body and cook up Chris Curtis. But I think if Curtis is able to get it down to the ground, he'll find some success. I really don't know. I think this is like a pick'em. Curtis is getting a bit old, but he's always been kind of like a top 20 guy. I mean, knocked out Brendan Allen. Like, he's decent, He's not a bad fighter whatsoever. He's had some time to prepare for this fight. Kopylov sent the fucking Russian
um, the Russian spies into Chris Curtis's camp, which is so funny. So he's got the inside scoop, man. You know what? I'm going with Kopylov because he got the fucking inside scoop, bro. He had the secret agents, the fucking FIB, goddamn Men in Black, secret fucking spies, bro, infiltrating the Extreme Couture camp. And I think he's gonna cook up. He knows what Chris is working on. I think he's gonna crunch him in striking. Might get taken down a few times, have some hairy moments, but I'm hoping you worked on it since his last fight. And I think it's gonna be too fast for Curtis. And Curtis likes to box. A good kicker like Jack Hermanson is kind of his kryptonite, I feel like. So, yeah, I'm going Kopylov. We'll go by decision because Chris Curtis is a hard guy to finish. He's very defensively responsible, so I don't see him getting finished. Next up, another fun fight: Abdul Razak Al Hassan versus Cesar Almeida. Almeida, good kickboxer, trains with Alex Barra, but I am rooting against him because he fucking did my boy Ihor so dirty, bro. Just fouled the fuck out of him over and over and over and over again. Good kickboxing, great striker. Kind of looks like a turtle. He reminds me of the Iron Turtle.
But with better striking. Actually, not even. The Iron Turtle has pretty good striking, but nasty power. Abdul is like a judo guy. He actually has good grappling. Strong, short, African. 39 years old though. Caesar is not a spring chicken either. He's 36, but I think compared to Abdul, he's a fresher fighter. Got more to prove. Could always get caught with overhand or taken down or something, but his grappling has looked pretty decent. From what I've seen, I remember his Contender Series fight. The guy was trying to take him down and kind of failing and ended up gassing out, and he put the whoops on him. So I'm going Cesar Almeida by round 2 TKO. I just hope this is a fun fight because the last one was not for Cesar Almeida, and it's one of those ones where on paper it should be great and there should definitely be a finish, but sometimes when you match two guys who have a lot of power and love like just finding that one shot or kind of brawlers, you get a boring decision like him versus Buckley. So I'm going Almeida. I'll go round 2 KO, but I could see a decision as well. Next up, Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Carlston Harris. This is a fun fight. I don't know why it's the co-main event, but I do think it'll be a good one. Carlston Harris, kind of a wild fighter, like fun, kind of striking style, decent grappling. I think he subbed Jeremiah Wells in his last fight, if I'm not mistaken. Oh damn, he got knocked out by Kane Williams. That's crazy. Beat Jared Gooden. That's an okay win. Beat my boy Impa Kasakanai. No good. Ponzinibbio. He's only a year older. That's kind of crazy. Carlston also kind of looks like a turtle. Just a little more long. A lengthy turtle. Okay. Ponzinibbio coming off a loss to Muslim Salikov. This is another like pick'em in my book. I honestly don't really some shit out of nowhere. More weapons. Advantage. I think I'm gonna go Carlston Harris. Just because Ponzinibbio has not been looking like he's been improving in his past couple fights. Carlston Harris, he impressed me against Jeremiah Wells. I thought he was gonna lose that fight, and he pulled it out the bag. So, not my most confident pick, but I'm going Carlston Harris by round 3 sub. Actually, round 1 sub. Why not? I have no nails. Not good for ASMR tapping. But now we're on to the main event of the evening.
Mackenzie Dern, the most Brazilian person from Arizona, versus Amanda Ribas, the GOAT, best personality in MMA, chill as fuck, positive ass person, and actually Brazilian, doesn't fake their accent. This is another fight that's like a pick'em for me. Ribas, I think, looked pretty decent against Rose Namajunas, especially in the striking. I thought it was pretty impressive, throwing a lot of like spinning back kicks, wheel kicks. Kind of, she's got like a herky-jerky Muay Thai style with, you know, some of those flashy kicks mixed in. But Dern impressed me against Lupi Godinez. I think she could have lost that fight. It was kind of like even. But she looked incredibly improved on the feet compared to her fight with Lemos and Andrade and pretty much all her fights. Except for Hill, who got cooked up by her, which is crazy. But Ribas has nasty jits. I think she's going to be able to fend off the jiu-jitsu from Dern. I think if she does get taken down, she'll be able to survive the submissions. A lot of people that Mackenzie Dern have fought, even when Mackenzie Dern wins, she hasn't been able to find the sub kind of at that higher level. And I don't think Ribas is going to get caught in one of those subs. So I think it's going to play out a lot on the feet. I think Mackenzie's going to try to grapple, but I don't think she'll be extremely successful. And it's hard to say who's really bad. I think Ribas does have the slight advantage on the feet, but Mackenzie Dern really did look, you know, decent in the striking department in her last fight. She was pumping out that jab, you know, she's kind of cooking up. So, you know, we'll see how Mackenzie Dern looks. She might have improved a ton since then. She'll be fucking landing suplexes, shooting singles, high crotch, fucking taking Ribas for a ride, jabbing her up. But, I mean, I gotta be logical here. I think Ribas beats her on the feet, and I think her jiu-jitsu is good enough to defend the submission attacks from Dern. So I'm going to use my brain here, and I'm going to have to go Ribas by decision. So yeah, those are all my picks for UFC Fight Night 101. We got Aliyev, Klein, Calamari, Jacoby Smith, Moises, Tulio. I think I said Boons. No, I said Jose Johnson. Soriano, Christian Rodriguez, Kopylov, Almeida, Harris, and Ribas. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited for this card. As I mentioned earlier, should be fun. I'm hyped that the UFC is back. 311 next week. That's gonna be banger, bro. I'm so excited for that card. absolutely stacked. Great way to start off the year. And yeah, we're about to hit 100 subscribers. So thank you for that. I'm just kind of doing this as a hobby, just for fun. Just giving my thoughts on the fights. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. Thanks for watching. Have a great night, morning, afternoon, whatever time it is. And yeah,
Don't let the bed bugs bite. Peace out.